Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jayo Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jagannath, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Shri Subhadra. Jayo Radha Vallabh Shri Radhe. Jayo Radha Vallabh Shri Radhe. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jayo Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. जय विष्णुपाद ब्रह्मस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्रशत श्री श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी जगत गुरुशल प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंद हरि. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada की Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 4, verse number 28. Name of the chapter is Ambarish Maharaj offended by Durvasa Muni. Tasma adadharis chakram. Tasma adadharis chakram. Pratyanika bhayavahan. Pratyanika bhayavaham. एकांत भक्ति भावेना. एकांत भक्ति भावेना. प्रीतो भक्ताभिरक्षणम. प्रीतो भक्ताभिरक्षणम. तस्मा अदाधरिश्चक्रम. प्रत्यानीका भयावहम. एकांत भक्ति भावेना. प्रीतो भक्ताभिरक्षणम. तस्मा अदाधरिश्चक्रम. प्रत्यनीका भयावहम. एकांत भक्ति भावेना. प्रीतो भक्ताभिरक्षणम. Chakram. Antam bhakti bhavena. Vishnu bhakta. Tasma adadharis chakram. Atyanika bhayavaham. एकांत भक्ति भावेना. प्रीतो भक्ताभिरक्षणम. माताजी. तस्माददाधरिश्चक्रम. प्रत्यानीका भयावहम. एकांत भक्ति भावेना. प्रीतो भक्ताभिरक्षणम. माताजी. तस्मा अदाधरिश्चक्रम. Pratyanika bhayavaham ekanta bhakti bhavena Prito bhakta virakshanam Tasmadadharis chakram Pratyanika bhayavaham Ekanta bhakti bhavena Prito bhakta virakshanam. Word for word meaning. Tasmai, unto him. Ambarish Maharaj. Adat, gave. Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chakram, his disc. Pratyanika, Bhaya Avaham, the Lord's disc, which was extremely fearful to the enemies of the Lord and his devotees. Ekanta bhakti bhavena, because his performing unalloyed devotional service. Pritaha, the Lord being so pleased. Bhakta abhirakshanam, for the protection of his devotees. Translation. Being very pleased by the unalloyed devotion of Maharaj Ambarish, the Supreme Personality of Godhead gave the king his disc, which is fearful to enemies and which always protects the devotees from enemies and adversities. Please repeat the translation. Being very pleased by the unalloyed devotion of Maharaj Ambarish, the Supreme Personality of Godhead gave the king his disc, which is fearful to enemies and which always protects the devotees from enemies and adversities. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. A devotee, being always engaged in service of the Lord, may not be expert in self-defense, but because a devotee fully depends on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is always sure of protection by the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj said, Naivo dvije param dhuratya vaitaranayas tvad virigayam mahamrita magna chitta. Bhagavatam 7.9.43. A devotee is always merged in the ocean of transcendental bliss of rendering service to the Lord. Therefore, he is not at all afraid of any adverse situation in the material world. The Lord also promises, Kaunteya pratijanihi na me bhakta pranashyati. O Arjun, you may declare to the world that the devotee of the Lord are never vanquished. Bhagavad Gita 9.31. For the protection of the devotees, Krishna's disc, the Sudarshan Chakra, is always ready. This disc is extremely fearful to the non-devotees. Pratyanika bhayavaham. Therefore, although Maharaj Ambarish was fully engaged in devotional service, his kingdom was free of all fear of adversity. Om jnanatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam jena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaye Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. So in 9th canto, few days back, we entered a very famous pastime of Lord protecting his dear devotee Ambarish Maharaj. And this is a continuation of the verses which describes how the Lord actually protected Ambarish Maharaj. The name of the chapter is Ambarish Maharaj offended by Durvasa Muni. Actually, if you read the story, it appears the other way. Durvasa Muni got offended by Ambarish Maharaj. And Ambarish Maharaj did not take the offense. But the chapter says Ambarish Maharaj got offended. Because him being a pure devotee of the Lord got offended. And because the Supreme Lord got offended, then Sudarshan Chakra got offended. And when Sudarshan Chakra got offended, Sudarshan Chakra took a stand to protect Ambarish Maharaj. If someone goes at this time and asks Ambarish Maharaj, are you upset that the Durvasa Muni has produced a demon and he wants to kill you? He'll say, no, I am not. Actually, he was not. He just was so absorbed in serving the Lord and thinking about him. But Lord takes offense. Because the fact is, Durvasa Muni did offend Ambarish Maharaj. But as a devotee, Ambarish Maharaj did not take it. So, it's a very famous pastime. This is the most quoted pastime when protection of the Supreme Lord is spoken about. How the Lord protects and how Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra, without even asking permission from Krishna, would come and protect his devotees. So it's a very famous, very well quoted Leela. Whenever devotees have been explained how amazing is the Supreme Lord and to what extent he can go to protect his devotees. So, if you just read the translation itself of this verse, it appears as if the Supreme Lord has given him the Sudarshan Chakra in his hands. If you read the translation, it says, being very pleased by his unalloyed devotion of Maharaj Ambarish, the Supreme Personality of Godhead gave the king his disc. No one can actually handle Sudarshan Chakra. It's not from now on Ambarish Maharaj is holding the chakra and whenever he wants he is using it because the Lord has given to him Sudarshan Chakra. So this is where Bhagavatam is entering the pastime and explaining how Sudarshan Chakra came for the rescue of Ambarish Maharaj. And in the purport, Prabhupada hints right at the beginning that because the devotee is always engaged in serving the Supreme Lord, the Lord himself takes the responsibility of the self-defense of the devotee. Vishwanath Thakur just gives a one-liner purport to this and he explains that because Ambarish Maharaj had all the devotional qualities and he was so busy, engaged in serving the Lord, that Krishna took charge of protecting his kingdom. Ambarish Maharaj was not too much busy in protecting his kingdom. He was the ruler of the planet Earth. Still, he was not busy conquering, enslaving other kingdoms somehow. Because just before this verse, which is verse number 28, we read previous verses which is talking about the devotional qualities of Ambarish Maharaj. And when you hear and read those devotional qualities, based on that Vishwanath Thakur is saying, how is it possible that he will go and he will defeat other people, conquer their kingdoms, and he will really usurp someone else's property, and he will expand his own kingdom? No. Then how come he still maintains his position as the ruler of the planet Earth? Because him being absorbed in devotional service, the Lord does that for him. The Lord is protecting him. Just by reading this example, another very famous example comes of Maharaj Pratap Rudra. He had borders of Odisha connecting with Bengal. And Bengal was ruled by a Muslim king who was Nawab Hussain Shah, a very powerful ruler that time. He was so powerful that Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami had to just say yes sir, whatever he asks. Because he would just forcefully conquer, convert, kill, whatever, at will. But that same king, and he was an expansionist. He was not a satisfier who was satisfied with him having Bengal. He wanted to conquer other kingdoms also. And that's why he told Rupa and Sanatan, you manage the political affairs, you manage the administration, and I want to go on conquering. But somehow because of Jagannath's protection, Odisha was never conquered by him or any other Muslim ruler. Odisha never became conquered by any invader, because Jagannath was always protecting that place, that land. And Maharaj Prataparudra was, if we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, it appears that is he really busy in kingly affairs, or he is just a devotional person who is a sadhu, who is just busy serving devotees, arranging for the festivals, because Jagannath was doing that role for him. Very similar to how Ambarisa Maharaj's pastime comes here. So Srila Prabhupada in one of his lecture mentions that, it's a very nice lecture, I'll just read some part of it, that many times neophyte people, when they start devotional practices, or even us, we can think or we can come to some conclusions that now I am chanting Hare Krishna, now I am practicing devotional life, there will be no adversities, there will be no disease, no problem, there will be no enemies. So this is Prabhupada's lecture. He says, don't think that a devotee will not have enemies. Prabhupada in his lecture he says, a devotee may have anything, or he may be attacked by enemies. He may be attacked with severe types of diseases and so many things, but he will be protected. That is the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. Prabhupada makes a very strong statement. He says, a non-devotee is neglected. That is stated by Prahlad Maharaj. That people may discover so many antibiotics or antiseptics for giving protection or anti-measures, but unless he is given protection by Krishna, all those anti-devices will not protect him. That is certain. Therefore, we should take protection only of Krishna. Otherwise, our all protective measures will fail. And Prabhupada gives a very classic example. If this example only is understood, one can really appreciate worship of the Supreme Lord over Devatas even as great as Lord Shiva. Prabhupada says, Ravan was attacked by Ramchandra. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. So he began to pray. Because life and death question was there, he was praying to Lord Shiva, please save me. I have served you so much. Ravan was a great devotee of Lord Shiva that he sometimes has cut his head and offered to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was thinking so deeply what to do. And Parvati was requesting Shiva that you're such a great devotee, is in danger and he's asking help, and you're sitting idly, you're doing nothing. How is that? The Lord Shiva replied, it is not possible to protect him. It is not possible for me. So as a woman sympathetic, she came out, and that if you cannot protect, then I shall go and protect Ravan. Mother Parvati is speaking. But she also could not protect. Therefore, it is a verse, Mare Krishna Rakhe ke, Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. If Krishna desires to kill somebody, no one can protect. And if Krishna protects somebody, no one can kill. Then Prabhupada says, this is the process. Amazing. Prabhupada gives this example and to establish Krishna's protection. But he begins by saying, devotees should not be in this illusion that there will be no enemies, there will be no problems, there will be no diseases. Especially when you're giving classes to groups or bhakti vrikshas or regular groups or cultivating devotees. This is one of the most common, most famous question asked. That now I'm chanting. It's already been 3.5 months. Why problem is still coming to me? Or when we had recently or in few years back also some great tragedies that devotees had in an early age, they departed. And this was again a question that, okay, we understand that non-devotees are basically reaping their karmas and they suffer or they enjoy. But devotees also had to go through such adversities, so much pain. Look at the family, they were serving so nicely for years and look at the pain now they are going through. does God exist? And if He exists, is He really a kind person or not? This is the exact question asked to me. I'm just repeating it verbatim. This is the exact question asked. Is God really there? That why so many devotees are going through so much pain? So that's why Prabhupada says, he may be attacked by enemies, he may be attacked by anything, severe disease or so many things, but the devotee will be protected. And the fact is, only the devotee feels the protection. And if people around the devotee are very Krishna conscious, they also can see the protection. Rest, everyone is bewildered. Rest whole lot is bewildered about the protection. But the devotee feels protection, because if the devotee is not feeling protection, that devotee will start to act insane. But we see very devotional sanity, devotional attitude even present, even displayed by those devotees. And those devotees who are surrounding that particular devotee who is going through a lot of problem, if they are Krishna conscious, if they can really see how Krishna is protecting, they remain sane. Rest everyone complains. And rest everyone is in pain, actually in pain. So, in Kunti Maharani's prayers, there is a very nice verse. It's a very famous one. In the 23rd verse of Kunti Maharani's prayers, she says, Yatha Rishikesha Khalena Devaki Kamsena Rudatichiram Sucharpita Vimochita Hamsa Sahotmajo Vibhotaye Vanatena Muhur Vipadgana. She's talking about how you have protected me and Devaki. There's a very nice point in Purport Srila Prabhupada mentions. The translation is, O Rishikesh, master of the senses and lord of the lords, you have released your mother Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious king, Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. She is glorifying the Lord. But Prabhupada says, Krishna has made some distinction in his protection. In the purport, he brings that point out. Prabhupada says, Kunti was shown far more favor because Lord Krishna did not save the other children of Devaki, whereas for Kunti Devi, he saved all the children. Prabhupada makes this point, that Kunti was shown, Maharani Kunti was shown extra care, extra protection. This was done, now Prabhupada explains why this was done, because Devaki's husband Vasudeva was still living and she had shelter, whereas Kunti Devi was a widow and there was none to help her except Krishna, because children were very young, very small. Then the Prabhupada says, the conclusion is that Krishna endows more favor to a devotee who is in great dangers. So I found this point a little extraordinary, that Krishna gives more protection to the devotees who are in greater danger. Giriraj Maharaj makes a very nice comment on this point. He said, who are these devotees who are in great danger? What is Prabhupada referring to when he is mentioning this point? He said, Prabhupada is referring to those who are preaching Krishna consciousness, the preachers. The preachers of Krishna consciousness are in great danger, and they get most protection from Krishna than anyone else. So because they put their life in line, they put their comfort in line to spread the glories of the Lord. And we have so many such examples of devotees who have gone out of their comfort areas just to preach, and how Lord Krishna has protected them. Srila Prabhupada is, of course, a classic example, but we see in the life of devotees, especially in USSR, former under KGB regime, which is now Russia, seemingly a democratic country, but I think it is now. So, but previously, at least, it was pretty intense. If someone has read this book called Salted Bread, it's so scary. There are some pastimes of Narasimha I want to share, because Narasimha Chaturdashi is also coming. So these devotees, the book is all about these two devotees, these two Prabhus who are friends, and it's been only 6 months that they have started practicing bhakti. But their faith is so intense, so strong, that they don't mind preaching Krishna consciousness in doesn't matter what severe conditions. And they are caught by police. Now these two very close friends are caught by police, and they were very ardent Christians from very childhood. They would go and clean churches which are practically destroyed, or pigeons have really messed the whole place around, and they will just go, this is place of God. So these two friends, they become devotees now. And when they become devotees, police catches them once while they were preaching or distributing books, because it was illegal and they would just hide and distribute books. So when they were caught, the simple condition police gave them, that you are young kids, you just sign this paper that these Hare Krishna devotees have brainwashed you. You did not want to do what you were doing, but you were forced to do this, and this is a dangerous cult. Just sign this paper and we'll let you go. Now this 6 months old devotee denied, and police said the consequences will be so hard that you can't imagine. They said, no, we are not going to sign it. How can we sign and how can we defame God's message? And Prabhupada, who is messenger of God, this is their faith. Just 6 months old chanting Hare Krishna. The punishment was, you see that door, big door at the entrance. Now imagine that door to be even more bigger, more heavier, full heavy thick metal doors like jails have. They're in jail now. So the only condition was, police said, we will keep your hands in between the door and the wall, and we'll smash the door if you don't sign. So one of them said, do it fast, because we are not signing. So they took one of the person's hands and they smashed the door. And he's shouting in pain. They smashed it again, and he's shouting in pain. They smashed it again, and with pain he faints. But he did not sign. Now, next day, he woke up in extreme pain. Hands are swollen, bleeding, whatever. And now they are supposed to be transferred to other jail, bigger jail. And the police asks him, this is a ritual we have here, a tradition we have here in our area. Any person who is going from this small jail to bigger jail, we ask them, if you have any desire, we will fulfill it. This 6-month-old devotee says, I want mridanga. Hands are smashed in the door. So he does Harinam on mridanga when mridanga comes to him, and he plays drum and they leave the jail. At least this devotee. So now in the bigger jail, the whole idea is to torture them. Now how Narsingadev protected is amazing. What they did, they just wanted to suppress them, make them sign or whatever, and they were not doing it. That this is God's message, Prabhupada is messenger of God, how can I defame him? How can I defame these pure teachings of Prabhupada? So what they did, they smashed 5-7 beer bottles on the floor. They stripped him naked, took all the clothes off, and they said, now we will force you to sit on this. And that made this devotee very scared. With his hands being smashed in the door, he was not scared. But he became very, very fearful when he saw that he will be forced to sit on these broken glasses without clothes. So now the room has 6 strong, heavy-built police officers and this young 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid. He just out of fear closes his eyes and very, very intensely starts chanting Narsingha prayers. Very intensely chanting Narsingha prayers. And to surprise, these 6 police officers failed to make him sit. And they were shocked. How is it possible that we stout people just can't make him sit? So this devotee himself recalls, he said, I don't know where I got so much of strength, but it appeared as if Narsingadev has appeared in my body. And I was controlling these 6 powerful people, and they got tired and they left him without making him sit, and they just walked off. Very powerful and amazing. What all torture these devotees went through is just incredible. But the protection Krishna gave is just amazing. There was a jailer in that jail whose hobby was, which Hare Krishna devotee I'll beat today. And he said, when other jailers would ask him, why would you do this? Because not everyone is ruthless like him. He said, my wife has told me if that particular day I do not beat a Hare Krishna devotee, I cannot sleep with her. So this particular day, he was very upset due to some reason, and he started beating this particular devotee amongst these two friends, smashed his eyes. Till date he has a vision problem, smashed his lower back, beating him very badly, and he's just chanting. He's just chanting Krishna's names. And he just beats him and just leaves him on the ground, and he just goes home. All the other jailers are shocked seeing this. Next day, and this was practically happening every day, but it was much lighter. One slap, one stick. But this, now he became violent and wild, and he really damaged the devotee. So next day, that police officer, his wife and his daughter were going in car. And while they were going, his car slipped off the cliff, and he entered a bush area where the number of branches entered their bodies were uncounted. It was so bad of an accident that they had to burn him then and there only. They just couldn't retrieve the bodies. And when this news came to the other police officers in the jail that, my God, these people are God-conscious people, do not trouble them. Government has given them some years of imprisonment, just let it be. Don't torture them anymore. After that, no devotee was tortured in that jail. Krishna protected practically all the devotees. Then there's so many such examples, Another very classic example His Holiness Radhanath Swami gives. We know that terrorist attack happened in 2008 in Mumbai, 26/11, 26th of November 2008. 10 terrorists came and then they attacked. And so few terrorists, they entered Taj Hotel and they practically occupied this Taj Hotel. And these and many police officers, army officers, commandos, they entered that Taj Hotel to protect. So these 3 police officers entered. One out of these 3 was a devotee, a properly practicing devotee. Now these terrorists had taken levels above and they were controlling the upper level, and whoever comes from down, they would just shoot. It's very easy. And they would throw grenades. So they had thrown a grenade very close to these 3 devotees, and it was practically, if they extend their hand, they cannot see. So much smoke was there. And that's how they would take chance and they would shoot. And suddenly this devotee got so panicked, so scared, that he just remembered, oh, I have a phone with me and I have Narsinga prayer in my phone. And he played this Narsinga prayer and he just started singing with it. And then bullets are shooting, ta 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 ta. And then when the smoke subsided, he saw there are 3 police officers. One on the left is dead, one on the right is dead. And he is alive because in that smoke he realized, because he could not see, that he is standing behind a pillar. And other 2 are exposed. And his realization was that how Narsinga Dev came out of the pillar to protect Prahlad, that same Narsinga Dev protected me with this pillar. So many instances, when in helpless condition, the shelter of the Supreme Lord is taken, the Lord purposefully interferes and helps the devotees. I mean, there's just so many pastimes we hear, So this here in Ambarish Maharaj's pastime, in Ambarish Leela, what is happening is, we will read it later, that Sudarshan Chakra took the offense, and without even Lord instructing, you go and protect my devotee, Sudarshan knows the heart of the Lord. And he goes out and he wants to destroy Durvasa Muni. Now Durvasa Muni is not just a random rishi. He is Avesh avatar of Shivji. He is practically expansion of Lord Shiva. Now he goes and he wants to kill Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni is running around all the places, everywhere possibly he could go to ask for shelter. Including Lord Shiva. Including Narayan. And we will read in future, the only protection he got was after asking forgiveness from Ambarish Maharaj. So there are so many pastimes we hear of Lord Krishna or even Lord Ram, that there is a constant exchange between the devotees and the Lord, and that constant loving exchange, the major part is protection. One of the major activity the Lord does is protecting the devotees. If you see Pandavas with the Lord, there's constant protection from start to end. There's constant protection happening. Even in Vrindavan, you see constantly the Lord is protecting while playing with his friends, killing the demons. There's a lot of protection the Lord shows. As in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha duskritam. So there's ongoing protection the Lord displays in his Leela. Even when Lord Ram comes, there's constant protection he's showing. Now, but the protection, most of the devotees expect that this protection should be physical, external, very visible, and I should conclude, yes, Lord protected me. But he may choose the way he chooses to protect. He may choose to protect otherwise. He may choose to protect the devotee's devotion. He may have some other plans for the devotees. There are many great devotees who have passed away in accidents. We hear the story of Haladini Mataji, who was such a great devotee that she stood in front of the gangsters and said, if you want to shoot devotees, in Africa it happened. They came and they said, all the women on one side, and children on one side, all the men on one other side. And we will kill all the men. And her devotional mind just could not handle this thought, that how can they kill devotees in front of me? So she told the gangsters, okay, if you want to kill devotees, you shoot me first, because how can I see a devotee in pain? No, when I'm talking about myself, when I put myself in the shoes of those devotees who were a 6 months old devotee, and they say, you just sign a paper, otherwise we smash your hands. When I was reading that book, I was thinking, if someone slaps me, I will sign anywhere. Really, I will just sign. Who cares? I'll just sign. Don't beat me. Don't give me pain. I'll just sign. Here, Ladini Mataji says, okay, you shoot me, because I cannot see other devotee in pain. So did Lord protect her? 100%. And they did shoot her first. They killed her first, then they killed all the men. But it's very difficult, and that's why I was saying before, only the devotee who has taken shelter can feel and see the protection, and those who are very Krishna conscious around that devotee can see and feel protection. Rest, everyone is bewildered. Rest, everyone around is fully bewildered about the protection of the Lord. But the Lord really, really interferes, because there are pastimes even in Mahabharata that Lord interferes in order to protect the devotees, even if the devotee does not want. What to speak of a devotee is open to Lord's protection. Even if a devotee does not want, and he is denying the instructions of the Lord, still Krishna will interfere to protect the devotees. As a classic example, when in Mahabharata, when they planned and they devised how to kill Dronacharya, and they successfully did kill him. Drishtadyumna, who was the Senapati chief, the army commander of Pandavas at that time, he went and practically chopped off the head of Dronacharya, because the news was spread and Krishna made Yudhishthira speak this lie that Ashwathama is dead. Elephant, Ashwathama is dead. That was the deal. So Dronacharya was fighting for his son. For him, the life is useless now. And then he just sits in his meditation. But how Krishna even devised that protection for Pandavas was even before the battle started. Many devotees don't know, because this is a little tiny detail, but very interesting detail in Mahabharata, that even before the battle started, Krishna indicated Yudhishthira that you go and offer obeisances to Bhishma and Drona. And Yudhishthira shoots a couple of arrows offering pranams. That's a Kshatriya way of offering pranam to Dronacharya and Bhishma. And he personally, Krishna tells Yudhishthira in his ears, you go to Bhishma and ask him how to kill you. Now opposition you're going and asking. And you go to Dronacharya and ask him how to kill you. Now because they're very pleased with you asking blessings, they will tell you. So Yudhishthira goes. He goes to Bhishma, he goes to Dronacharya, and he asks them how to kill you. And they both tell how to kill us. And Dronacharya tells him that no one can kill me until I am holding weapons. The day I quit fighting, I can be killed. That's why Krishna later designed this means that, okay, you tell Ashwathama is dead, so that Dronacharya will quit his weapons and then you can kill him. So they killed Dronacharya, but Ashwathama became enraged. He became so upset that he decided, I will destroy practically the whole planet now. I don't care who is who, I will kill everyone. That's, in fit of rage, that's what you think. I'll burn the house down. Because how could you say salt is less in the sabji? Or whatever. So anger can cause whatever. So Ashwathama released a weapon known as Narayan Astra. And this is one of the most powerful weapon he had with him. As soon as he released Narayan Astra, he told the whole corps of Sena, just watch the drama now. See what happens. You just watch it. And when he released fireballs, shafts, missiles, everything just started following. It started falling on Pandav Sena, on the army of Pandav side. And within minutes, it started killing people in thousands. So when Krishna realized that, Ashwathama has released Narayan Astra, and this is Krishna's Astra, right? He knows how to deal with it. He went and he noticed a situation that the only way to deal with Narayan Astra is that you fall flat paying obeisances to Narayan Astra and don't lift your weapon. Drop your weapon, fall flat. So what Narayan Astra will do, it will give you blessing and it will move away. But if you fight, the condition was whoever fights Narayan Astra, the power of Narayan Astra will keep increasing on him. So this mostly people would not know, but Krishna knew because it's his Astra. So Krishna told Arjun, everyone, he made an announcement, put your weapons down, just fall flat, pay obeisances. So now Arjun is famous for holding his gandiv, his bow. He would not even accept anyone insulting his bow. What to speak of anyone else, even Yudhishthir could not do it. He took his sword out to cut his head because he insulted his bow. Arjun also quietly puts his bow down. When Bhima sees this, he is ridiculing Arjun. How can you put your bow down? Oh, Gandhivdhari, how could you put your bow down? Come on, fight. Soldiers, fight. Keep fighting. I will take this astra on my chest. My hard chest will smash this astra. Bhima is roaring like this. And Arjun tells him, I have taken a vow that in front of Brahman, cow, or any astra of my dear Lord Narayan, I will put my weapon down. So I am bowing down. You also do. He said, I will not. So when Narayan Astra noticed that everyone is bowing down other than Bhima, all the Shakti of Narayan Astra consolidated and attacked Bhima. And Bhima is fighting, but he is burning. He's really getting the pain of it, but in his anger, in his warrior ego, he's continuing to battle. Arjun is telling, brother, come down, come down. No. And Krishna is shouting, Bhim, drop your weapons, drop your weapons. He said, no, you all may be scared, I am not. And he's fighting. He's not listening to Krishna. Krishna is trying to protect, Bhima is not listening. That's the point I was making, that even if a devotee is not wanting protection, what to speak of wanting protection, does not even want to listen to the Lord's advice, the Lord interferes to protect the devotee. What Krishna did, Krishna ran towards Bhima, held him by his neck and forced him to bow down. He pushed him down on the ground and he said, just pay obeisances and let that Narayan Astra pass by. And meanwhile, what Arjun did is while Bhima was fighting, he shot an arrow of Varun Dev to sprinkle some water so that some cooling effect may come. Meanwhile, Krishna is trying to push him down. And when Narayan Astra passed by, Bhima said, thank you. Because the ego settled, the rage he had settled now. And then Duryodhana told Ashwathama, what was that? He said, what can I do? Narayan is there, he knows how to deal with it. Duryodhana said, shoot one more. Shoot one more, shoot one more. This was very good, it killed so many people. But the condition was, Narayan Astra can be shot only once in lifetime. And that was already wasted. So Lord Krishna protected Pandavas. And there's so many, just back-to-back examples are there, how Lord purposefully interferes and protects his devotees. And soon we'll enter into more of the details how Ambarish Maharaj is protected, and Prabhupada's purports are very nice to this chapter. So this is just a prelude of entering into the pastime, how Lord will protect with that, I'll just stop. If anyone has any questions or comment, we can discuss. Yes, Sivya.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you mentioned for a devotee, if any calamities come, Krishna will protect them. And you gave the example of the two devotees in Russia. And you also mentioned the point that sometimes the Lord will give bodily protection. Like when the Muslim rulers attacked, the devotees had to run away with the deities and put them somewhere else. So does that mean whatever situation I am in, Krishna, should I have not expect that Krishna will protect me? And how do I get that faith? Like, where should I engage in devotional service to get that firm faith, so that I don't have any expectation of Krishna protecting me, knowing that He will come and protect me?
Yeah. So this is a very nice bhajan by Bhaktivedanta Thakur. That is, Manas deho geho jo kichu mor, arpilu tova pade nanda kishore. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that my everything is yours. And he says, jo kichu mor, whatever I have, Krishna, is yours. Whatever I have is yours. That means my properties, my assets, he says my family, my life, everything is yours. And then he says, Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tohar. Nitya das pratituva adhikar. You want to keep me, you want to save me, you want to kill me, up to you. Why? He says, because I am like a sold out animal. And a sold out animal can be treated whatever way the master wants. And this is the mood of a devotee when they approach the Lord. Okay, you want to protect this way? You want me to not be physically protected? Up to you. Why? Because I am your sold out animal. So this mood a devotee carries when approaching the Lord, and that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He says, Sampade vipade jivane marane, dai mama gela tuva opade barane. He says, in good fortune or in bad, in life or in death, all my difficulties will disappear if I take a shelter. So this is a mood a devotee has to invest upon, build upon. And it's gradual. You can't do it, no one can do it overnight, because even a flu can disturb devotee's faith. I will not go to temple. When I go to temple, I get sick. So many small things can disturb devotee's faith. One devotee told me the other day, from now on I have decided I will not go to temple, especially Saturday and Sunday. I will do my chanting in temple, because there is one devotee out of 800 who doesn't treat me properly in the temple on Saturday, Sunday. So I have decided I will not go to temple. Now when our faith is like that, how do you help someone? And here the faith is, Maro bhi rakho bhi jo. You can kill me, my dear Lord. You can destroy me. You can protect me, whatever you want, because I am your sampati, I am your property. You treat me the way you want to treat. So it has to be developed. And it is naturally, gradually developed. But all these pastimes, these stories we were discussing, because a lot of protection will be discussed, I purposefully kept it a little lighter, just stories and all, because it will become a lot now, going forward this pastime. So that let's develop it. Let's slowly with small things develop it. What happened, the two brothers I was talking about, one of the brother, when they were in the main central jail, getting tortured like hell, the punishment was either you go out in minus 40 degree and break the stone boulders, the ice boulders, or you sit inside a hall and for 14 to 16 hours with these big needles sew clothes. And the punishment was, what is wrong in sewing clothes? Because if you sleep, it will stitch your hand. It will go through your hand. And many people would go through that pain. So they were going through that pain. And they would force themselves, they would beat themselves to stay awake. Because that was the punishment. Everyone would sleep and everyone would just stitch their own hand. The needle would just pass through. And this is not small needle we're talking about. The needle itself, they say it's hand-sized needle. But what happened to that devotee? One devotee got released from the jail, and later he found out that his friend died in the jail. But how he died was one of the non-devotee roommates told how that particular devotee passed away. He said he was so sick, he had tuberculosis. He was so sick that he could not move from last 4 days, he was just bedridden. And suddenly, he said, in the room, I noticed the whole atmosphere changed. The dullness, the gloominess, the pain in the room changed. The room appeared bright, and this devotee with all enthusiasm just got up, took the bed sheet, took his clothes off, put the bed sheet as dhoti. With the newspaper, he made a garland, wore a garland, took the toothpaste, put the tilak on, all 13 Vaishnava tilak, sat in this mudra, started chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna, and then passed away. And this devotee who was for 4 days bedridden just before passing away, what protection is that? Now if someone sees from external point of view, he was just beaten to death. He was just suffering, he was in pain, he was practically just going through so much pain. But what happened? He just went back home, back to Godhead. He went in a full Vaishnava attire. He made a garland from newspaper just because now Vishnu Dutas are coming to receive me. What protection we are talking about? This is amazing. That's why I said, I'm repeating again, only the devotee who experiences protection knows what is happening, and those who are very Krishna conscious, they understand the protection. Rest, everyone is bewildered. No one understands how the Lord protects. When you feel protection, you know the Lord is protecting you. Rest, everyone is confused. Is it okay?
Thank you.
So we have to develop gradually, slowly. Small things, Yes, Mataji.
Thank you for the beautiful class, Prabhu. Very nice class. Sylvia's question, that also Lord wouldn't choose one of us if we are not ready. He will choose the people who can tolerate. He wouldn't choose Arjun, Sakha, Prabhu, us in that situation, Russian devotees or this Mataji. He knows whom to choose also. Thank you so much.
Yeah, He can choose us and He'll show us how fallen we are.
If He choose, then He will give the strength to us.
He can actually choose us and really make us feel, oh my God, there is so much to do.
And also, if He will give the devotees also all the comfort, if they have all the comforts, if they can preach about Krishna gloriously, then He will give all the comforts to the devotee, then he can go out and preach also. Thank you so much.
If he desires, so yes.
He knows inside out. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Beautiful class. Hare
Thank you. Anything else, or we stop? Pace, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. How can we feel in our everyday life? Like, what are the signs or what are things to look for so that we can feel like we are protected by Krishna, or we can feel the protection in our everyday
One
life?
thing that, when you ask this question, straight away comes to my mind is, even though we are so disqualified in terms of our action, our attitude, still the Lord is maintaining our devotional career. That is His mercy actually. Even though we are so fallen, we know what happens in our mind, we know what we think about others, we exactly know how much Krishna conscious we are. Still, the devotees are kind, the Lord is kind that He is protecting and maintaining our devotional life. If it is not for the Supreme Lord, if it is not for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after becoming devotees for few years, we forget what mindset people usually have who are just religious or non-devotional. But when you speak to other people outside, you actually try to see, they appear very religious, but they have no clue of what pure devotional service is. And still our enthusiasm is maintained to somehow practice pure devotional service. And I honestly feel that is amazing protection. We commit offenses, so many, towards the deities, towards prasad. How many times, how many plates of prasadam have we thrown? But prasadam doesn't throw us away, doesn't reject us. Actually speaking, a grain of prasadam thrown, technically, which talks about in scriptures, results in heavy reactions. But Krishna is kind. Lord Chaitanya is kind, All these small mistakes are just overlooked. We should take advantage, of course. We should not misuse it. But the point is, I see this as protection. And it is protection. What do you think? Isn't it?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. I really feel this is protection, because if we really explore our heart, it is very filthy. My God. You really feel Lord Chaitanya's movement works. Prabhupada is very kind. Otherwise, especially when you go inside the altar, I'm talking about myself, when you go out inside the altar and you're serving, you really feel, why am I even here? And as Bhurijan Prabhu mentions many times, if people can really hear your mind, we'll be just kicked out of this place. If our mind can be read by everyone else, what we think about them, what we think about so many people, we're just so contaminated. But the Lord protects. He really takes care of our tiny efforts, tiny attempts, tiny baby steps, and just encourages. Okay. And if as devotees we have that same mood and vision what Krishna has towards other devotees, we can really make devotional communities very amazing. The way Krishna treats us, neglecting all our faults, still encourages us. If we develop that same mood for other devotees, of course, if you're in position, you have to correct, but if we develop that same mood, it'll be amazing. It'll be amazing. How the Lord sees us, if we see everyone else, it'll be amazing. Otherwise, Guru would have rejected us long back. Because Guru has the vision of what Krishna has, he still keeps accepting us, keep forgiving us, keep pardoning us. How many times we have offended spiritual master? Every devotee knows when 4 vows we take, I will not do this, that. We all know. Here, there, we keep breaking it. But, so that's protection. That is merciful protection of the Lord. That's what I feel. If anyone wants to add anything about protection, you can do so. Is it okay? Hare Krishna. ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।